In a previous video, we looked at how to send an SMS message with PHP using Vonage's PHP SDK. If you haven't seen that video yet, make sure you check that out as well. It'll be linked in the description. Today, we're going to take it a step further and look at how to receive an SMS using Vonage's PHP SDK. When we text a customer, how do we know if they read our message? How do we know what their response was? And how can we automate a response back to them? That's what we'll answer in this video. Let's get started. If you followed along with the previous tutorial on how to send a message with PHP, then you'll already have a project with the PHP SDK ready to go. If not, let's quickly get you up to speed. As always, make sure that you have a Vonage developer account and access to the Vonage API dashboard. The sign-up link is in the description. First, make sure you have PHP 8 or higher and Composer running on your machine. Then, using the command line, make a new folder for your PHP project by running the make directory command, followed by the name you want to name your folder. Here, my folder is simply named Vonage-SMS. cd into Vonage-SMS and then run the composer init command. Composer will ask you a series of questions, but you can just choose all of the default options. Once created, we can now add the Vonage PHP SDK to it by running composer require Vonage/client. Now we're ready to start creating some API routes that Vonage can call to tell us when we received an SMS message from our customers. Just like in the previous video, we're also going to use the Slim framework, which is a PHP micro framework that allows you to quickly spin up APIs. Run composer require slim/slim and specify version 4 or greater, and then run composer require slim/PSR7. PSR7 defines standard PHP interfaces for HTTP requests and responses, which Slim implements. Now we can create a new file in our project, which I'll call receive-sms.php. First, we'll want to make sure that we pull in all the classes we'll need. Make sure Composer's autoload is included. If not, add the following requirement statement to the file. Next, we'll want to pull in the request and response classes from the Slim/PSR7 library. We'll also want to create an app factory object using the Slim framework as well. This will be the engine behind our endpoint. With our app object, we'll be able to create a post route. Let's call this endpoint/incoming, which is what Vonage will call to send us incoming messages. It takes a request and response object as arguments per the PSR7 standard. For this example, let's say that after receiving a message, we want to respond to the sender acknowledging that we received their message. When that message is sent to us via Vonage, this is what the payload will look like. In addition to the text itself, we'll also have access to a bunch of other information, but most importantly, the from field, labeled MSISDN here, to tell us who sent the message, and the to field to tell us which one of our virtual numbers they contacted. We can extract those fields out of the JSON payload and use them to send a message in response. Let's do that here. Now that we have this information, we can construct a new message. First, we need our API key and API secret from the Vonage developer dashboard. For the sake of simplicity, I'm just hard coding it here. But ideally, you'd want to add these to your .env file. After you create your credentials object, you can use that to construct a Vonage client object. Lastly, we'll want to construct a Vonage SMS object, which takes the to argument, the from argument, and the text argument in that order. Our to argument here will be the from value that we pulled from the payload, and our from argument here will be the to field that we pulled from the payload. For the text, let's respond saying, "We have received your message. This is what you said," and append the original text to our message. Now we're able to use our client object to send the message. After that, we'll want to return a 200 status. Otherwise, Vonage will assume the message was not received and will try to send it again for the next 24 hours. Lastly, we'll need to run the app. We can do that by simply running app run at the end. There's one more step you need to take for this to work. Vonage needs to know about this URL. You can add it to the Messages Sandbox tab in the inbound field. If you're running this locally, keep in mind that for Vonage to hit this post route, it will need it to be hosted on a public URL. You can make your local URL public using a number of different tools, but one of the easiest ones to get started with is ngrok. Once you add your public callback URL, you can now text your Vonage virtual number. And when you do, you should get the automated response back. If you're running into issues sending a text to your virtual number, you may be having issues with the way your virtual number is set up. In some countries, your number needs to be registered before you can send messages from it. Check the Your Numbers tab for more information, as well as the SMS Logs tab to further troubleshoot. For more quick tutorials on Vonage's PHP SDK, as well as any of our other APIs and supported programming languages, subscribe to this YouTube channel, join our Slack community, and check out our blog at developer.vonage.com.